Chris, what is our first main topic today?
Our first topic comes from Nigel. Hey, John and crew. I'm Nigel from Nairobi, Kenya. I've loved your show since way back when.
Thank you, man.
I just saw an update about the Invincible Live Action movie where in an interview, Kirkman stressed that the film adaptation is still in the pipeline and that, quote, we are very much still working on that. After that incredible first season, I'm absolutely excited to learn that this property is still in the works. What are your thoughts? And bring on the filthy.
All right, Nigel, thanks a lot for saying that in. And yeah, Invincible Season 1 was a great, pleasant surprise. I mean, I didn't think it was as good as Arcane, but it became a must-watch every time a new episode is out there kind of thing for me. I really enjoyed it. I admit I'm not as looking forward to Season 2 and moving forward because, like, the storyline in the comics, I just prefer the Invincible story that's on Earth and the stuff that goes on there. But hey, listen, when you look at the job they did for Season 1, great. We got a little kind of a teaser thing for Season 2 announcement the other day. Mm-hmm. That was fine. But a live action Invincible, a live action superhero, non-DC universe, non-Marvel universe, although there have been crossover stuff, but would be fantastic. And it looks like there was whispers of it before, but it sounds like it's a very tangible thing they are very much working towards. This comes to us from the folks over at Coming Soon who write the following. Creator Robert Kirkman revealed that a live-action movie based on the series is still in development. While he didn't delve into too many specifics on the film, he did note that the popularity of the television series was only helped when it comes to getting people to take the idea of an Invincible film project seriously. We're still very much working on that, Kirkman said. Sometimes movies take a little bit longer. I think it's safe to say, if anything, the show has just helped that immensely. People are very excited about that movie potential at Universal, so we're riding that excitement and trying to push things forward as quickly as possible. All right. Lots and lots and lots of story ideas and things being in development happen that never come to the big screen, right? Most things that go into development don't end up on the big screen. But with the unquestioned success of the first season of this, and it wasn't a fluke, it's a really good story. I mean, it's a really fun show. It's a good story. It carries a lot of the elements that I think a lot of the audience likes to see in it. And, you know, look, we've talked for a long time that studios besides Disney and Warner Brothers have been looking like, how can we get a little taste of this superhero money that people are making? And something like this, I mean, they're saying Universal would be, I guess, the home for something like this. Now, granted, this would not be a cheap movie to make.
No.
I mean, we're not talking $300 million, but I mean, this is not a cheap movie to make. And it would represent a risk. It would be a non-franchise, non-cinematic universe, all that kind of stuff. But I'll tell you what, often what I would like to see and what I think would be the smart thing to see are two different things. I think they align here. I would love to see a live action Invincible. I would love it. And you know what? I think it would be the right move. I think they have built an audience with this by this going to TV and streaming first. I think they've got awareness of it. It is a much more well-known IP today than it was before the series started to air. And with season 2 coming out, you can only build on that. Listen, again, you can't make this thing for $200 million, but even though it would be a big budget, I think there's a lot of upside to this. Anyway, Rob, what do you think about this?
Well, I think you're absolutely right. The thing is that here's the real problem when you're going in to pitch an unknown property of any kind. It's hard for people to visualize what that could possibly be.
Yeah.
They don't know. So that's why everyone is so focused these days on IP, because there's always something to look at, whether it's a novel, whether it's an animated series, whether it's a comic book, something that's tangible that they can look at and go, oh, okay, this already worked in one medium. People already bought it. It exists. So now that I can see what it is, if this meets what our studio or our distribution company is interested in making, it's much easier to get something done. And I think that when looking at the Invincible first season of Invincible was crazy. I mean, it showed a world that you get it. And it's like, oh, that would absolutely work in live action. Let's do that. And you can also get an idea of how expensive would this movie be. There's flying effects, there's superhero battles, there's alien worlds, depending on where you're going to go with it. How much do we have to spend? And having something that you can look at, I mean, I've got the absolute versions of the comics, but those comics, even in a larger size, are really dynamic. So you could look at them and go, yes, we can make this. but it's really important. I think it raises the bar. If you have an animated series like this, it raises the bar by 100 to 300%, that much, that it would get made in live action because people can see what it is.
Chris, what do you think? I mean, first, could Invincible work in a live action medium? And what do you think the likelihood is here that they could actually get this done?
I mean, it could work. It is a hyper-violent show, obviously, as the comics are. But we've seen that translate well in shows like The Boys, like Preacher. Those adaptations did that really, really nicely, having that super hyper-stylized violence. Because, I mean, people are being ripped apart in this show. The biggest issue for me here is the pacing is going to have to change so much for a feature film than for a television show, which we already saw changes to that in that first initial episode. We have our big reveal, that big turn that takes several issues, which I think worked for a television medium. This is one of those moments where adaptation does need to make some changes because there was delicious payoff and going, oh my God, Omni-Man does what? But you needed that for the first episode of this season to be really enticed and drawn in. And boy, what a twist too, to have this squeaky clean, almost Peter Parker-esque saga, then have all that hyper violence. Everyone I knew who watched it, who didn't know the story, lost their minds. But you really have to play with that timing and pacing for a feature film. And I don't know how much of the story you'll be able to encapsulate there. I think Kirkman could do it. I'm just worried about that.
Any chance? Now, I got to throw this out here too, because this would be the other thing that Universal will have to weigh. Any chance that they can come and make a pitch of this where an Invincible live action movie is not rated R? Because I don't know that you can. With the if there hadn't been an Invincible show already, you could do an adaptation that wasn't rated R. But now that the expectations have kind of been set, I don't know. Can you do this non-rated R?
I don't think so. But the problem is what people have to understand is if you're going to go rated R and use the graphic violence, and let's face it, that's one of the appeals, that means your budget can't be that high. The higher the budget is, the harder the rating is, your budget has to come down. Because if you look in the history of films, there are lately, over the last 20 years, there have been some very successful R-rated movies, comedies, certain movies like The Matrix.
They are still the rare exception.
But they're the rare exception. So if you're going to spend $200 million on an R-rated movie, they're not going to spend $200 million on an R-rated movie, usually. But if, it was a $75 million or $100 million, maybe you could. And if you figure out a way to do it, then you could make it R.
All right, guys, question is for you. Do you even watch the Invincible series? If so, what do you think about the idea of a live action version of it? I'm not going to lie to you. I kind of salivate at the idea. I would love to see this thing in live action. Could it be done not rated R? I don't think you can, with the show already being out there kind of setting the expectation level. The question is, what do you think is going to happen here? Whatever your thoughts are, jump down to the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Manscaped. Breaking news, Manscaped now sells beard products. That's right, they are once again revolutionizing men's grooming with the brand new Beard Hedger Pro Kit. Now you can finally use Manscaped products to make your drapes match your carpet by going to manscaped.com and using the code Campea for 20% off and free shipping. It all starts with the Beard Hedger. This thing is a juggernaut of fixing faces. First off, this cordless trimmer has a rotary wheel that gives you 20 hair cutting lengths, all with one guard. So no more messy drawers full of extra add-ons. You also get the beard shampoo and conditioner. Because guys, you gotta remember that all of your hair is different. Your beard hair is more coarse and easier to damage than the hair on your head. Next, the kit has Manscaped's beard oil. The oil relieves dryness both on the beard and the skin beneath. You then cap it off with the Beard Balm that shapes, styles, moisturizes, and tames for a sculpted look. The Pro Beard Kit also comes with 3 special gifts: a beard brush, comb, and scissors to ensure your beard is ready to impress. So get 20% off and free shipping with the code Campea at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code Campea. Manscaped Beard Hedger, 1 stroke, 1 guard, 20 lengths.